Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it should probably come as no shock to you in any way, shape, or form that the majority of the AAA gaming studios have no idea what gamers actually want. They've been sold a bill of goods about a bunch of indoctrination, a bunch of kind of petty, insolent, kind of crazy nonsense of identity politics and all of that kind of crazy stuff, and that's what players want, and that's what gamers are going to love, and they're not going to go anywhere if you insert this kind of stuff in there, and if, of course, you just completely and totally disrespect your player base, well, they'll all be fine. Well, boys and girls, the gaming industry has found out that that is not true in any way, shape, or form, and it looks like Assassin's Creed itself is finally admitting that they have no idea what gamers want. And color us shocked there, because it's also revealed in this article that the CEO of Ubisoft out there is only concerned about a video game is what he can use it as an indoctrination camp for people to learn things. Yes, boys and girls, he sees games as nothing more than something to teach you a lesson and teach you how to think and what to do. So color us shocked there that Assassin's Creed and everything else that Ubisoft's put out over the last couple of years has turned into a disastrous dumpster fire and has failed miserably. By the way, how's Star Wars Outlaws working out for him? So we're going to check out this article from Fandom Pulse over there with John F. Trent. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Does it surprise you at all that the head of Assassin's Creed, the executive producer out there, has no idea what gamers want and where they actually are in any way, shape, or form? Or does it surprise you enough that they actually admitted this? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. So from John F. Trent over at Fandom Pulse over on Substack. Assassin's Creed EP admits Ubisoft does not know where players are and how the company can reach them. Oh, color us shocked there. During a QA portion of the interview at the XDS S24 conference, Cody was asked how external development will affect Ubisoft in the next 3 to 5 years. He goes, I think we're in an era of peak change. I don't know what the industry is going to look like in 5 years, but clearly we're transforming. And I think it can create anxiety. I see it as a challenge that we need to solve together, because whether it's in the AAA or even in the more indie space, the recipe for success, as it's been in the last maybe 20 years, is dramatically shifting. No, it's really not. You guys just decided to shift it in a direction that the players and the majority of the audience out there had no desire to go. They didn't want your nastiness. They didn't want your indoctrination. They didn't want your poor garbage talking about indoctrination, about telling people how to think and everything else. No, they just wanted a good game that wasn't broken and buggy so much like Star Wars Outlaws were. I mean, you saw the first gameplay for that. You saw the first trailers for that. You've seen all that stuff. This is the problem. They have concentrated more on identity politics, and color us shocked there. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to reach their player base anymore. Well, guess what? What video game players have wanted for the last 20 years hasn't changed. They want a good quality game with an engaging story and that actually is nice to look at. The graphics don't have to be next level as long as the gameplay is really, really well done. But at the end of the day, these people don't care about that. They don't understand that. They see video games as nothing more than an indoctrination tool. So he goes on to say, we will still need to innovate. We need to control our costs, but they have ballooned clearly over the last 5 years. Yeah, you can't spend $300 million on a video game only to have a peak concurrent player of like 80,000 players. Yeah, that generally doesn't work out very well now, does it? Next, he shared how the company does not know where players are and does not know how to get them to play their games. We need to find where players are, which has been a question I've been having for the last 2 years. Where are players? What are they playing? Yeah, because clearly they're not playing Ubisoft's game after Prince of Persia absolutely turned into a disastrous dumpster fire. Star Wars Outlaws blew up in your face, and boy, I can't wait to see how bad Assassin's Creed Shadows does. Where are the players? What are they playing? Clearly not your games. Where do we reach them? All of this will become clear in the coming years as our industry transforms. And this is one of the things, I suppose it's the ignorant statement out there, because guess what? Gamers haven't moved. Gamers haven't shifted. Gamers still like exactly what gamers have always liked. The problem is you guys moved. You guys changed. The audience is still the same as it's always been. But you guys decided to put identity politics over making good quality gameplay. Ironically, earlier in the same interview, Cody revealed that one of the company's main goals with its games is to change people. Yes, boys and girls, Ubisoft sees video games as nothing more than a tool to indoctrinate you with. He revealed that one of the first questions that the CEO asks when he's being pitched by developers within the game is, what will players learn? Yes, boys and girls, isn't that exactly what you went to a video game for? To learn something new and not to have a little escapism, just something you have a good time with to escape the reality of the rest of the world? No. They're going to use video games to teach you something, ladies and gentlemen. Cody explained this. What I think has driven Yavis for 36, 37 years now is the idea that video games can change the world. Yes, just like movies and television shows. Yes, boys and girls, we can use it as a vehicle to indoctrinate you and get you in the right way of thinking. And you start changing the world by changing people. And if you give them something to think about while they're even having fun, right? If they can learn something, you can like change one person. You can change the world. And there it is, boys and girls. That people over at Ubisoft clearly only feel that video games are nothing more than an indoctrination camp. And as we can see here, Skull and Bones absolutely flopped miserably. And of course, we can talk about Prince of Persia and how bad it did. And of course, Star Wars Outlaws and how much of a disastrous dumpster fire that has been. And of course, the hundreds of millions of dollars the company has already admitted that they lost. And of course, that Assassin's Creed Shadows is way over budget and will turn into a disastrous dumpster fire for them as well. And that's why they've delayed it. That's why they have to polish it and make it a little bit better, because Ubisoft knows they are in trouble. They know that the garbage that they have been trying to sell people is not working. You can't simply rely on identity politics to sell a game. It doesn't work. It never has, and it never will. And then when you add that on top of the fact that people don't want identity politics in their video games, you also give us nothing more than broken and buggy messes like what we saw with Star Wars Outlaws that literally has the graphics that look like they belong on my Nintendo 64. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, something does indeed have to change. Whether or not Ubisoft will actually ever recognize what needs to be changed inside of their company, I have no idea. This company is looking down the barrel of a very bad bankruptcy, boys and girls, if they do not change their ways, if something doesn't change over there. And Assassin's Creed Shadows is not going to save them. Ubisoft is clearly in debt up to their eyeballs at this point. They have been in the red for a very long time, and now we know exactly why, because the leadership is only concerned with making sure that they indoctrinate you with their video games, that you learn something because you're stupid and ignorant and need to be taught the right way of thinking. And clearly, as they admitted, they have no idea where players are or what they want. So color us shocked there that they are failing miserably, ladies and gentlemen. And at the end of the day, Assassin's Creed Shadows will probably end up turning into a disastrous dumpster fire. And guess what, Ubisoft? It's exactly what you deserve.